Have you thought about why when two people learn the same information, why they get different results? Now this happens even in school, even in our college days. Okay, we definitely know that in the classroom, everybody learns the same information from the teacher standing in the front. But why is it that only a few of the students get the results and the others do not? Okay, so in today's video, especially when it comes to business, I'm going to go deep into uncovering the 5 layers which determine results in your life or in your business. So grab your notepads, pens and papers, and let's dive into why two people who learn the same information get completely different results. Let's get in. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into this whole concept here, and I'm going to be giving you this mind map if you stay till the end of this video. Do not skip any part of it, because only if you learn this whole thing and once you're able to download this mind map later on, it will be like a good refresher. Okay, so stay till the end, because you can use this mind map. You can take a printout of it later and keep this in front of you for a reinforced learning experience. Okay, so let's do this. First, let's understand the concepts, and then I'm going to be going into each layer one by one, starting from layer 1 all the way to layer 5. Okay, and then I'll conclude with some thoughts on how you can actually get better results in every aspect of your life and business. So first, let's understand the concepts here. Okay, I've been analyzing business owners, successful people, billionaires, millionaires, and what's the difference between a billionaire and a broke person? What's the difference? Okay, what's the difference between these two? It comes down to a few core principles and concepts which I want to share with you right now. Okay, a lot has to do with mindset. Now you would have heard about this. Probably this is a concept that's already known to you, but let me go deeper and tell you about this. Okay, now a billionaire or a millionaire or a successful person, they are multi-disciplined personalities. Okay, whereas a person who's broke or not doing too well, they are a single discipline. That means people in the workforce, they are very specialized in one thing and they only do that thing and they get a job. Okay, but if you look at the patterns of millionaires, billionaires, they are multidisciplinary individuals. That means they know a lot of things. It's all to do with awareness or expansion of awareness. And I'm going to be elaborating more about this in the 5 layers, because these 5 layers, it has a lot to do with awareness. The other thing is I want to talk about another concept is your own operating system. Okay, let's imagine that your mind is like an operating system, and you can install whatever software that you want in your mind. But in case you have an outdated operating system, even if you install the latest software on it, it's not going to work properly. For example, if you want to learn about Facebook ads, if you want to learn how to create like information products, if you want to learn how to do videos like this, but if you do not have an operating system within that is updated for you to install that new knowledge, then there is no way that you're going to get the desired result. Okay, so your mind, your conscious and subconscious mind is like your operating system on which you can install these different apps. Okay, but the sad thing in today's whole internet age is that a lot of people are only talking about this mechanics. They're only talking about the processes on how to do stuff, like how to run Facebook ads, how to create products. But no one is talking about the deeper layers. Like the typical example is that of an iceberg. An iceberg, you only see like the top 2 or top 5%, which is above the water. But below the water, you have the 95% of the iceberg. And that's exactly how even success and results, in the online space or in your life or in your business, it has a lot to do with your internal game. So think about the operating system. And the other analogies are the foundation of your house. Imagine if you're going to be building a house on sand, what's going to happen? The house is going to fall. So if you do not have a deep-rooted foundation to yourself, which is to do with what you're programming in your mind, what are your deeper levels? In fact, the level 1 here, which I'm going to talk about, is the deeper levels. Okay, if you don't have that deep-rooted foundation, then there's a high chance that whatever you do, whatever knowledge that you learn, whatever courses you take, whatever events that you attend, it will not have any use. It will not have any use. So let me uncover all the layers first, from above to below, and then I will elaborate from down to top. Okay, so the surface level layer, the things on the top is all the processes and the mechanics. Like for example, how to run ads, how to do this, which tool to use, which software to use, which button to press, which you know, which platform to use, which tool to use, which software. All of this comes under processes. Okay. That's the most surface level thing, and 99% of the world, they only want to know the magic bullet. They want to know, give me that software, the tool that you're using, and I'll be successful. But the sad truth is, it doesn't work like that. Okay. There's one layer below process and mechanics, which is business discipline. Do you have the personal discipline in your business to follow through and to execute? Now, if I just give you the processes, and if you don't have the discipline, no results. Now, there's one layer below business discipline, which is business principles on which you operate. Okay, this is more to do with your value system and what you really stand for. How do you really want to run a business and stuff like that. Okay. Now, again, if this is weak, then you'll not have the discipline, okay, to follow through. Now, let's come to layer 2. Under business discipline is something called as mental cognition. These are more skills or soft skills which are really required for you to follow through in whatever that you do in your business. And there's one level under mental cognition, which is the deepest layer of all, which is your mental awareness. Awareness of the world, awareness of your existing, of your existence on this planet. Okay. So when you have a strong internal game, I'm talking about the foundation here, yeah, your mental awareness and your cognition. These three here actually play the main foundation of your sense of being in your business and even in your results. So now let's go into each step one by one. Okay, let's go to mental awareness. Now, mental awareness has to do with what is your purpose. Okay, many people may not know what their purpose is. So it has to do with your belief systems. I'll come to self-awareness after this. Your belief systems. What do you truly believe in? Do you believe like money is the root of all evil? Rich people are bad, and all these are all belief systems which are like programmings in your subconscious, which is actually stopping you from achieving your results. Because in your belief system, if you have negative thoughts around money, for example, no matter what you do in the processes and mechanics, you're not going to get those results. So belief systems, self-awareness. Self-awareness is being aware of yourself and also being aware of the patterns of your thoughts. It's more like you putting yourself in a third-party mode and looking at yourself from the outside and analyzing your own thoughts. And sometimes I do this, to myself, like when I get angry, when I know my kids are doing something they don't need to do, and before I'm going to burst out, I just put myself outside for a second and look inside and look at myself from a third person's view, saying, hey Sid, is this something that is that worth doing or not? This is called self-awareness. And when you start consciously exercising this skill, by the way, you're not born with self-awareness. It is something that can be exercised. It's a skill. Okay. And the more you do this, then when you analyze your own patterns of thoughts, you would get more aware of the world, and you'll be able to make the right decisions. Okay. And grounding, if you see, I've seen that those people who are more spiritually inclined, those people who have meditative processes, who have like who have a deeper understanding of life, where they're able to differentiate between the body and the soul and the journey of the soul. They have a much stronger grounding in every aspect of their life. Okay, so this is called mental awareness. And once you have a strong mental awareness, then what happens is, then let's look at the next level. Then comes mental cognition. Now, mental cognition are skills which are very soft skills, which are to do with your internal game. I'm talking about critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, your prioritizing and scheduling skills. Okay, if you have a strong internal game, and if you have a strong purpose and clarity on why you want to do what you do, then the way that you prioritize things would be much better. The way that you schedule your day, the way that you schedule your time, and saying no to things that are not in alignment with your vision. This also has to do with your mental cognition. Okay, pattern recognition is another important skill, where you're able to see patterns through a hyper awareness mode, where you're able to pick up patterns from the world around you, and you act according to that. Okay, so I'm seeing a huge shift in the way people work these days, and the huge shift in the way businesses are operating. And I'm learning from some of the top guys who are creating like $1 million, $2 million, $30 million a year kind of businesses, their level of awareness and analyzing patterns and serving the market is on a whole new level compared to those people who are running a business for like 20 years, 50, 30 years, still stuck with their own ideologies and thinking that they are the best in this world. It's very, very different. There's two different paradigms. Okay. So pattern recognition is one. Planning for contingencies and problem solving, delegating, systemizing, all of this comes under mental cognition. Okay. So, one of the patterns I've seen in millionaires, billionaires, or super successful people they are very quick at problem solving. It's not that they don't have problems. They have problems every single day, but rather than getting stuck in that problem, they are quick to move and quick to take those calls to keep moving forward. Okay. All this comes under mental cognition. So now let's come to business principles. Business principles are your core values and beliefs. And a principle which I learned from one of my mentors, he talks about the code of honor. What do you really stand for? This is where your business principles comes into play. So we're talking about how to run a business. According to you, what are your values and beliefs, and how do you want to run your business? So in my case, for me, these are some of my core values when it comes to running a business. It is like I definitely want to be cash flow focused. It's all about cash flow. Okay, so some businesses focus on profit, but I believe that cash flow, if it's good, then profit is going to be a byproduct of it. I have an obsession for student obsession and learning, because I'm doing a lot of courses. I do a lot of webinars, and I'm completely obsessed with world-class learning experience. Like even now you're watching my video, I'm sure you're getting a lot of value just in a few minutes, right? So I'm totally obsessed with delivering top-notch, world-class value to my students, and I'm obsessed that you learn in the shortest span and you get maximum impact. Okay, so that's one of my values of business. I'm always long-term focused. Okay, if you give me a choice of making a quick buck versus waiting and creating wealth, I would definitely go for option 2, or in other words, delayed gratification. Okay, I don't mind delaying my gratification for a better future. That always works, and there's a marshmallow test done on kids, and like a 5-6 year olds who are given marshmallows, and they would tell those kids that if you don't eat the marshmallow for 10 minutes, you'll get 2 marshmallows. Okay, if you don't eat this one marshmallow over the next 10 minutes, you'll get 2. And those kids who delayed their gratification ended up getting more, and they ended up becoming more successful in their life many years down the line. So this is something which is very, very important. If you're like instant gratification, then it's like animalistic instinct. Animals want gratification at that minute, at that moment. That's why they're animals. And what makes us human is to think long-term focused. Not just in business, even in life, even in your personal life, okay, even in your relationships, even in your health. Okay, you need to know how to control yourself on your eating habits. You need to know how to control yourself on how you deal with people around you, and how you're able to really keep relationships together, and not just snapping and letting things go in a short-term tiff that's there. Okay, all these are very important principles, and all of this come under values, beliefs, your business principles or your core internal principles. Another principle on how I go about things is not following the crowd. If everybody is doing something, I want to do something different. I want to break it down to the first principles. What I mean by first principles is, if everybody is doing something, I would like to do things in a very different way, and I can break it down into what can I do differently that can make me stand out from the crowd. Okay, for example, this whole mind mapping thing, I don't think many people are doing this. Everybody likes to talk on video, but very few people actually go into depth and creating like super value content through a structured learning through mind maps. Okay, some people prefer PPTs, but this is something which I've mastered, and always continuously growing in this. Now, besides this, I also have a code of honor, and you need to set your own code of honor. Code of honor, or your set of values by which you want to live by. For example, I live my 5 codes of honor are freedom. I believe that each and every one has the opportunity in today's day and age to live and run a business anywhere in the world. So you don't need to be bound by geography or place or situation. You can be very, very flexible. 2 is growth, to learn, do, and teach. Integrity is a big one. Character is like gold in today's day and age. So integrity is so important for me that I would never, ever do something which is not are going to serve my market. If anything, even the slightest whiff is going to hurt my audience, I would never recommend that. Okay, and I would do a business only with that mindset, integrity of the highest level. Abundance, creating multiple streams of income, and contribution. So these are some of my codes on which I operate as a human. And if you are able to think about yourself and you develop your own codes, this would come under your business principles. Now the thing is, I hope all of you realize that just by knowing the processes on, say, how to run Facebook ads, if these are not strong, I'm talking about business principles, mental cognition, mental awareness. If these are not strong, then whatever you do on the top here is not going to get you results. Yeah, because the depth with which you operate on a top level here, okay, if you have a strong depth and if you do the stuff on the top, if you learn the process on the top, those processes will have a much higher impact. Are you getting it? Yeah. So now let's come to the business discipline here. So if you have a strong principle, then you will follow through on your discipline. You will follow through and executing your discipline. Now these are the different business disciplines. For example, marketing is a discipline, sales is a discipline, product development is a discipline, researching is a discipline, managing your money, accounting and taxes on the business side, managing your personal finances. All these are disciplines. Okay. And if you, again, going down to up, if you don't have a clear purpose, if you don't have these core skills, mental cognition skills, and if you don't have a strong set of values, then there's no way that you're going to follow through on these disciplines. Are you getting it? Okay. Now let's come to the first layer, the topmost layer, the mechanics and the processes is what everybody wants to learn anyway. Like, tell me which is the best traffic source, show me how to build my list, how to do video marketing, how do you track your conversions, how to write good copy, how to build your tribe, how to hire and manage people in the right way, how to build the right culture in your organization, how to structure your pricing structures and compensations for your products or your services, and how to use different tools. All of this play only layer number 5. It is only the topmost layer. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. Millionaires, billionaires, they have multidisciplinary personality. That means they would know everything about all this thing. They would be like a full stack knowledge. But those who are broke, they are mostly single discipline. They may probably be just expert in one of this. They may be just, for example, they may know how to use one tool, and they're just using that tool and they are working on that tool and they are hired by some company to just focus on that one tool. That is what you call as an employee. Okay, an employee is focused on one discipline. But a business owner, a true business owner, who's a successful business owner, has multiple facets. And just to give you an example here, Michael Jordan, okay, famous basketball player, the greatest in the history of basketball. Now this guy, he was great at offense and defense. He was not a single discipline player. He would be good at offense, he would be good at defense, and that's how he's the guy is in the history books in basketball. Look at Michael Schumacher. Okay, Michael Schumacher was the world #1 champion for so many years. He was racing for Ferrari for many years, and I remember watching the races. Now, did you know that Michael Schumacher is one of the few race drivers who was an excellent mechanic himself? He could rip apart a car and put it back together himself on his own. Whereas most of the other drivers, they would have mechanics to do stuff for them. That's what differentiates super successful people, okay, and the mediocre. So coming back to this point over here, why two people who learn the same information get different results is because of these 5 layers. The layers of mental awareness, mental cognition, business principles, business disciplines, and process mechanics. And if you want to be that full stack kind of an individual, then you need to be aware of these aspects here. And I'm going to give you a download to this mind map right now. Okay, I'm going to give you a download to the mind map. So if you're serious, okay, if you're really serious about developing all these different skills and truly build a freedom-based business for yourself, like a business where you can master all of this. You can set up your systems up, put it into automation, and then delegate stuff to other people to do stuff for you once you master the game. I